Today, I think it's pretty important that I talk about something that's pretty well known in the world today. Something I also been involved with for quite some time, and that is people in the field of ghost hunting, paranormal, creepy stuff, whatever the case is, and it's whatever you want to call it. I've been doing radio shows, actually, for 10 years, but have been involved with God or religion or whatever you want to call it in your own personal belief. I've been involved with it my entire life, but I've also been chased down by things that you would not believe, confronted by things that you would not believe. I can tell you stories that would you would be shocked. And I go back to, if you want to talk about when my first memory was, it was probably one of my first memories was being involved with things happening to me, being 5, maybe earlier than that. But, I still have trouble with things today. And I'm glad that I try every day to have God as a part of my life. Even though somebody may roll their eyes, it makes no sense to roll your eyes when you mention God, but you don't roll your eyes when you talk about anything satanic or paranormal, things like that. But anyway, I don't want to get into my personal beliefs because, that's not why we're here. I also am very good at exposing people. I really wouldn't call it exposing as much as, there are those out there that you tend to respect. And then when you find out that they weren't telling the truth, or if you find out that they're not quite who they really are, they're not quite like they seem, you tend to lose respect for them. You stop listening to them. You stop watching them. You kind of, but that's what I want to focus on today. There are those out there that we need to be warned about. I can't tell definitively proof that these people are actually doing stuff bad, but the answers are there by things that they say in interviews and what they do on TV and stuff like that. What I'm talking about is a lot of them say they're trying to help people. A lot of them say that we're talking multitude of ghost shows, ghost hunting shows, those that are out there in the paranormal, those that are out there that say that they have interest in finding out the truth and things like that. And I do believe, for the most part, most of them do know the truth. Most of them know what's going on, but somehow the fame has gotten to their head, maybe, or it's fun for them to be involved in the dark part of it instead of the good part of it. That's why they totally attack religion, or totally attack anything that's godlike or anything that has any kind of light in the world. They actually attack that. I think there's a lot of manipulation in this world alone today with what Satan does and what a lot of his minions do and things like that. My 10-year reign in radio, I guess you would say, 10 years of doing it has exposed a lot of stuff. I have a multitude of audio and proof that I've kept over the years that I put in certain places so I wouldn't lose them, so I can come back and show people later on, hey, this is what they said. There's the proof right here. And what they're doing is dangerous, probably the most dangerous thing they could ever do. You can do whatever you want that's bad in this world in your own human body, but going beyond that, your spiritual future, anything that requires your life in God's kingdom, or anything that requires your life after this life is over with, if you choose so to believe, is very threatening to your life. Now, what we're going to talk about today, I have some people I want to expose, so stick around.
And now we interrupt, disrupt, and crash this station.
The man fighting for peace, his legacy, truth in a sea of stupid.
Filtered for your sarcastic enjoyment, Ghostgetter.
Now, you could say, well, I don't believe in God, I don't believe in this, and I don't believe in that. And that's fine if you don't want to. But if you live in a life where you're doing things satanic and you're doing things dark and you're in paranormal and you're doing that stuff and you've witnessed a whole lot of weird stuff or bad things or whatever the case is, it's not good for you, then how can you not believe? As you know, some of you that know me pretty well know that in a lot of my shows I talk about where this deception and everything started. Now, of course, it started from Satan and the serpent and the Bible and Genesis and things like that, and I've talked about that before, but a human aspect, a human point of entry when this whole thing started, really, she didn't pioneer it, but this is where she got it from. It's kind of like Kurt Cobain didn't start grunge, but he put it on the map, so to speak. And who I'm talking about is Petrovna Blavatsky. In the late 1800s, she was one of the people that went to Tibet, and if you don't know who she is, look her up. But she's taken the idea of the Tibetan religion and placed it in the Western world, so to speak, and brought it out into the light to everyone could see and be a part of that. What is it? The New Age is this religion of what she truly believed in is Satan is the actual real God and the good person, and God is the bad. And she also admitted in her ISIS Unveiled books that she believed and worshipped Satan and things like that. Now, her idea tries to make it out to be where she is innocent and all this stuff is good and there's nothing wrong with it. Of course, that's the whole manipulation. That's the whole idea. Now, if you go back to when she started, you can backtrack, and I did on one of my shows a long time ago, and if you want to hear the show, I can give you a copy. You can backtrack, and I'll put the show on the bottom of my thing if I can find it. I'll put the link on there. I believe I have it on the internet, and if I do, I'll put the link down the bottom where you can hear the whole show. It's about 2 hours. But you can backtrack where her whole idea started, and it links up to people that are in power today, people in religions today, people that are politicians, actors, actresses, musicians, all these people that are involved in this New Age belief system. And it is completely shocking. I mean, it is unbelievable, this spiritualism and everything else. It is so dangerous. I wouldn't say bad as in you can, touch it, you'll get a disease. It is so dangerous, maybe spiritually, that I've seen people's videos get taken down off YouTube. I've seen where things of this nature have been exposed and it has been taken down off YouTube. It's been banned in a lot of places. And I'm sure that if I put certain keywords so people could find, if I leave things like exposing the New Age or whatever like that on here, it'll be taken down as well. That's why I try to be careful with the keywords. But it is that dangerous. There are people out there that do not want you to know what they're actually up to. I figured it out. And these people today will make it out to be like it's not a bad thing. It's actually a good thing. It's actually peace and love, and we can all become gods, and we can all, hold hands, and we believe in peace. But there's too many people in the world, so we need to get rid of them. But we don't like this person, so we should get rid of them too. But, and they start doing that, and it starts to turn bad. When they're actually trying to act like they're good people, it starts to turn ugly. There's a whole lot of people like that in the world today that you know who they are. And if you pay attention to what they're saying, sometimes it'll just go right by you and you didn't even hear it. And you're thinking, wow, how did I not catch that? Obama has done it. Shirley MacLaine has done it. She is known as the queen of the New Age. You name it. There are people out there that you would just think, oh my gosh, really? Shocking. And that's what I'm going to show you right now. Like I said, this started with her, and I backtrack it in one of my shows. Actually, Hitler had a book of hers. The rumor had it, he had a book of hers on his nightstand, and he read it constantly, and he actually took advice from her book and things that she did and added it to his dictatorship, so to speak. This is why a lot of things that he did, if you look at the parades that they had, the ceremonies, the celebrations they had, it actually matched everything that they did in this New Age cultism. A lot of occults today follow that. Charles Manson followed that. Jim Jones followed that. Alex Jones, it wouldn't surprise me. But a lot of people do follow that. And it's very, very scary in a lot of ways. And I'm going to play you some audio, and I'm just here to warn you that these people are not quite what they seem. And I've told you I've been doing, studying these people for 10 years or better. And so this stuff can be pretty shocking.
According to Blavatsky, Satan was in fact God, while Jehovah, the God of the Bible, was the real devil and enemy of mankind. Blavatsky wrote that the appellation Satan belongs by right to the first and cruelest adversary of all other gods, Jehovah, not to the serpent which spoke only words of sympathy and wisdom. Elsewhere she writes that Satan, the serpent of Genesis, is the real creator and benefactor, the father of spiritual mankind, for it is he who opened the eyes of the automaton Adam, created by Jehovah. In The Secret Doctrine, she says, in antiquity and reality, Lucifer or Luciferus is the name of the angelic entity presiding over the light of truth as over the light of the day. Lucifer is divine and terrestrial light, the Holy Ghost and Satan at one and the same time.
I'm sure you're asking yourself, why do I care? What's it going to do to my life? Personally, it's my theory, but for anyone out there that's been a part of certain religions, certain things of how the Bible's supposed to go and the prophecy, the future and revelation, things like that, the banning of religions, forcing people into certain, in certain situations. I don't want to get into it for hours, but the point is, it's a part of prophecy. This is a part of a thing that's going to bring the final, end of it all. I say this because these are the people that believe that we are all gods. These are the people that I've heard say things like manipulating, and I've heard it coming from the owner of Starbucks. I've heard it come, I believe it was him. People in business, people that are famous, politicians. A lot of your liberals believe in this stuff today too. Oprah Winfrey, you name it. These people believe. Here's the scary part. This is where all of what some conspiracy theorists say, they're tainting our water, they're tainting our food, they're killing us all, they're killing us off. This is where, and if you listen to what they're saying, they say, oh, that's bogus. But we do have too many people in the world, and I think they're going to use up all of our food. They're going to use up all of our water. That's such a crock of crap, okay? If you have people that actually grow food instead of governments taking the farmland away and things like that, or whatever, the more people that grow, the more food you have. But the point is, These people use excuses such as, we have too many people in the world and they're using up all of our water, they're using up all of our food, so we need to do something about it. But also, if you look at Pizzagate, the bloodletting, all this stuff that's going on in your cults today, and just weird stuff that's going on, came straight out of Blavatsky and the New Earth religion and the New Earth and all that stuff, the New Age movement. Even Planned Parenthood and abortion clinics and stuff like that started within the belief of Madame Blavatsky and her system of the white race or the Aryan race and things like that, which is what Hitler believed in. Even Blavatsky believed in the Aryan way and things like that. Blavatsky also believed in the symbol, the Tibetan symbol, which was a swastika, but it used to be in reverse. Hitler changed that to make it more, he believed that this is the evil side of it. So anyway, this is where the whole thing started. This is what they believed in. This is where all this came in, and you find it, oh my gosh, really? Yes, everything that is a part of this world today, it came from that area where people have talked about that. Hollywood is big into that. You see it in movies. You hear it in music. Led Zeppelin had believed in that stuff at one point. They carry a lot of that stuff in their songs. That's why I don't have too many of their songs. It took me a long time to even put them on my list on my station. There's only a couple. But the rest of them, I can't do it. There are so many songs out there that I do not put out because of this and their belief system. Earth, Wind, and Fire believed in it, believe it or not. So the point is, these people know what they're doing. And if you get down to the paranormal side of it, this is where it gets dangerous. This is where it gets interesting. Because there are people in this field that are actually still doing it and believe in it, have admitted to doing it. And people just, it went right over the top of their head and didn't hear it. You remember when I was telling you the apple? They believe that we're all gods. They got this idea from the serpent in the Bible in Genesis when he told Eve, you will not die, you will live forever. Hence, this is where the ghost idea came from. This is where the idea that we believe in, we're all gods, things like that. This is why Apple has the symbol, the bitten off apple on their thing, because the owner or the founder was into the New Age. This is why Starbucks symbol was like it was, because they believe in the New Age, and that was one of the symbols. You name it, the shell symbol. It goes on and on and on. Here's a piece of audio where, and she is into the New Age. She believes in it. She follows it. She has millions of people following her belief system. She's had web classes on this. I'm talking about Oprah Winfrey. And she knew Obama was involved in it and influenced in the New Age. This is a piece of audio from Obama when he gave Shirley MacLaine a Medal of Freedom. He knows he was into it. She's in the New Age. She's the queen of the New Age. Here's a piece of audio where Obama says this and talks about the apple from the tree. The hint that will go right by you. Listen to this. It's pretty shocking.
It's a motto she has lived by. Don't be afraid to go out on a limb. That's where all the fruit is. For her risk-taking, for her theatrical brilliance, for her limitless capacity for wonder, we honor this American powerhouse, Ms. Shirley MacLaine.
Did you catch that? He said not be afraid to go out on a limb because that's where the fruit is. And her influence. Here's another one from Obama. If you don't believe it, here's another one from Obama that I think that will shock you quite a bit. You'll get it after you hear this one.
My individual salvation is not going to come about without a collective salvation for the country. Unfortunately, I think that recognition requires that we make sacrifices, and this country has not always been willing to make the sacrifices that are necessary to bring about a new day and a new age.
The new day and the new age. Very interesting. Now, what I'm good at, okay, is if someone mentions this when they're talking, as if Obama has said it, so, and he gives a medal to Shirley MacLaine. So I'll go listen to Shirley MacLaine's speeches, and then you learn that, oh, she's involved in this stuff. And as you listen to the things that she said, you will get stuff from her, and then you'll go look that up, and then so on and so forth. This is what I've done. This is how I found out that Margaret Sanger was in the New Age, and the list goes on and on and on. Actress Gwyneth Paltrow's in the New Age, and you don't think Gwyneth Paltrow's involved? Listen to this piece of audio. This is pretty shocking too. It came out on the news why she divorced her husband because of this particular reason.
It looks like Gwyneth Paltrow's, quote, obsession with the occult led to the downfall of her marriage to Coldplay singer Chris Martin. Of course, she's not calling it a pending divorce. It's a conscious uncoupling. The Kabbalah-obsessed princess is so out of touch with reality that she recently said that it's harder to raise your kids as an actress than if you have a, quote, office job. Yes, it's just so hard having those tens of millions of dollars and all those assistants and nannies to just raise your kids for you. It's just so difficult than, just getting your kids ready for school and then driving off to work for yourself and then taking them to dance class or karate or to gymnastics. It's just so difficult for, just for a celebrity mom of tens of millions of dollars who only has to work, a couple months out of the year. It's so difficult. Gwyneth Paltrow's obsession with the occult apparently has led to her naming her children such insane, really child-abusing, in my opinion, names as Moses and Apple. Oh, those kids aren't going to get made fun of at all, are they? Hey, Moses! Hey, Apple!
Apple.
The Kabbalah is a favorite of many celebrities, which really got incorporated and evolved into what we know as Freemasonry today. Ashton Kutcher has recently been photographed wearing what looks to be a Freemason hat, and him and his new baby mama has attended the funeral of the Kabbalah Center from Los Angeles over there in Israel.
So the point of it, if you heard, he named her child Apple and Moses, so, it has a lot to do with that. So we know Hollywood is involved, and we know musicians are involved. So this is where it gets to the paranormal, okay? There's a guy out there, and this is going to be part one of several. There's a guy out there named Jordan Maxwell. He's a part of the paranormal for quite some time, and he's not the only one. There are a lot of people involved in this that are also into this Madame Blavatsky thing. Now, he'll come out and he'll tell you that, oh, I believe in God, or I believe that this and that and this and that. Tries to portray themselves as a nice guy, or tries to portray themselves as, one of those people that are good for you, or actually helping you. But listen to this piece of audio from Jordan Maxwell. He's pretty big. If you can, I can go on forever. Go look him up. Of quite, established person. He's been on TV shows and the like with a lot of people over the years. He's been quiet for quite some time. But they say that even the Jordanius Maximus was one of the names out of the Isis Unveiled that he got his surname from, which was Blavatsky. This is one of his pieces of audio that's quite shocking. And this guy is one of the heads of this field, along with a whole bunch of other people that talk and act exactly like this.
I said to them, I said, look, I know you're here, okay? And I want you to know that I don't mind doing whatever it is I'm supposed to do. If I've got a destiny in life or a mission or whatever it is, I don't mind doing it.
I was being exposed at a very early age to the really totally dark side, a side of the occult world that most people don't even want to think about. I woke up one night, in the middle of the night, and I went totally ballistic. When I woke up, there was an entity in the room, and it was, I cannot tell you how evil the presence was to my spirit. Whatever it was that was in my room was so profoundly evil.
I said to them, I don't mind doing whatever it is I'm supposed to do.
Gentlemen, have you ever heard or read Mrs. Blavatsky? She's...
Alina Petrovna Blavatsky?
Right.
Yes, I have all of her works.
You have?
Yes.
Well, that's why... Yes.
I think her best work was Isis Unveiled, Part 2, which is theology.
Right. Science.
And that was an exceptional work. I think that Helena Petrovna Blavatsky, the Russian mystic, was a very wise and perceptive lady, and she had some very profound knowledge, obviously, and her academic achievements were extraordinary, and so I have a very high respect for the work of Helena Blavatsky.
So it's Jordan Maxwell that said that. Jordan Maxwell. He said that. You want more? Here's more of his stuff. This is a guy that supposed to be a good person, supposed to be those in the paranormal that's trying to figure out the field for good reasons. That's trying to help you out, right? Oh, there's more of this.
Consequently, I believe, as an article of my faith, that there are individuals on the earth today who are, for a lack of a better term, divinely ordained in their position of power. And I don't know if that makes me happy or not, but I'm smart enough to accept it and realize that, I guess for a lack of a better way of saying it, someone has to run the world. And if they are here, and they have come here from another place and another time, they have extraordinary wisdom, power, and knowledge. And consequently, I don't see them, if this be true, this is just an article of my belief, but if this be true, that there are entities here who are not completely human, but who are a combination of the divine and human, then I see no problem with this. I accept that there are powers over us, and I think that they will reward you for your diligence and your intelligence. If you intend to be stupid, then let them.
Use your head and think for a second. Think. This guy is willing to accept, there are things that run this world. Well, pretty much know the answer to that one. But, you go with the previous interview and what he said there of the phone and stuff like that, how he was confronted by an entity and and all that, and how Blavatsky was his, big thing about that. And then you go on with this. Come on. Seriously? Now you can backtrack or go to interview after interview after interview, and it would take you some time to do it. That's pretty much what I did. But you can find this stuff. Now, you can take it out of context or whatever, or as a fan say, oh, you didn't say that, which he did say it. But the point is, he said it. And even if you erase everything that he said, except for the part we talked about Madame Blavatsky, of course, you can find that interview on the internet easy, especially the video of it. There's no reason, there's no excuse for that. It is true, because it's in her own book, that this woman believed more of Satan being God than God being God, or the God of Jehovah. Now, come on. Anyone that follows this woman or worships this woman or, has high respect for her, really? To me, if anyone did that, or if anyone said that, I don't have respect for them. I don't find them in high regard, and I definitely would not be a part of their world or their book signing or anything, or just reading their books or buying their books, or I have all of their works. like Hitler had all of her works, like Hillary Clinton was a big fan of Margaret Sanger, who was a big student of Blavatsky herself, along with Aleister Crowley, which Aleister Crowley followed her works, which Aleister Crowley also was friends with the founder of Scientology. It's all connected. Everyone is following these people. Everyone is a part of this. And if you can't see it, or maybe you just don't want to see it, I don't know, that's up to you, but it's truly there, especially if you catch what they're saying in a lot of these interviews. You can catch it. And I have a slew of these interviews. We can go on forever, but I won't, because I can save it for part 2, part 3, and part 4 and all that. And this is what I've done with my shows over the last 10 years. But in the end, let's just say, and I'll have more later, they all talk the same, they all act the same, they all hang out with the same group, they all do the same thing, and they all believe in the same thing, except God. They do not want that to be a part of the paranormal, yet they pray before they go on investigations. They do not want that to be a part of ghost hunting, and yet they carry crosses with them. They do not want that to be a part of the paranormal, yet they allow demons to follow them home, which makes no sense whatsoever. In the end, which I have other paranormal enthusiasts such as Chip Coffey saying that he goes on his little thing and has his little brunch time and or whatever, and loves to go conjure up ghosts. You know what they are. Here's a little piece of audio in the end where Shirley MacLaine is on CNN on Larry King, and listen to what she says.
Do you stay in contact with any of the people you used to work with a lot? Well, a lot of them.
No, they're all dead. Yes, actually.
Yes.
The answer is yes.
That's right, because you. What is Sinatra doing?
I had a channeling the other day.
You channeled them?
No. I had a channeling about something else. One of the people I was wondering about was you, but never mind the answer. And Frank came through.
Frank. So explain this to me. When you channeling.
Not me. I went to a channeler.
Oh, you went to a channeler.
Yeah.
A seance like?
No. It's really a rather legitimate profession. You can set your consciousness aside and let another level of reality come through.
Okay. And when Frank channeled into you,
he channeled through the other person.
And what did he?
He said, "Hi, kid, you're doing great." Spoke just like he used to.
Did you see him?
No, just heard him.
Where do you think he is?
Definitely heaven, with some bodyguards.
Come on, Shirley. Where do you think he is? You do you believe you heard him?
Oh, yes.
By the way, I wanted to mention, you can go back and listen to it. She says definitely in heaven with some bodyguards. If heaven supposedly exists and this is where he is, why would he need bodyguards? You see, those things that catch you right over and just goes right over your head. Why would he need bodyguards? What's the threat?
Yes, too many people have spoken to me, basically on the other side.
So where is Frank? When you say the other side, I'm fascinated with this because I'm an agnostic, maybe an atheist. I don't believe there's anything after.
No, you're a left-brain intellectual who wants hard evidence. You always want proof. And it's really hard to give proof about things
not true.
that are not third-dimensional.
Because it's not true.
This is not a third-dimensional experience. I'm trying to think of how I could explain it. When you start to understand where did we come from, where are we going, none of that is hard evidentiary. But you know there's something there.
Oh, so do you believe like Frank is watching us now or is aware?
Oh, I don't think he would be all that entertained by this interview. No.
Keep it up, Shirley.
Yeah, right. And he's got, I told you, his buddies there,
right.
too.
Oh, his friends are with him?
Some of them.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, but what I'm trying to get at, I'll make this leap if you'll help me.
Yes, don't blame this on me, because you have a block.
Okay, I know that. Where is the other side? Where?
Well, you need to know location.
Well, where is he?
What are you, a real estate salesman? It's not. I
can't answer.
Where is the unknown? I don't know.
She's talking about Frank Sinatra, by the way. In another interview, well, not an interview, she was talking about Jack Nicholson and how they did a scene where they were laying in bed, and all of a sudden 2 voices came out of his mouth, and it kind of shocked him. And I think she was saying that I have the audio, but he was saying he had to apologize, and she said, no, it's a part of channeling. So what does that tell you when 2 different voices come out of his mouth? This is a guy that the eyes, the window to the soul, the window of the soul is through your eyes. So he keeps sunglasses on all the time, 24/7, so people can't steal his soul. This is the kind of person. This is Hollywood. The paranormal is like this as well. There are people out there just flat out want to. It drives you crazy. It makes you want to just, I just want to go over to the closet, just walk in and shut the door behind me and just never come out. I just never want to come out. I just want to take this, this root beer bottle and just slam it on my head. I don't get it. I don't understand. She can't answer because it's not true. She doesn't even know where it comes from. She doesn't even know where people get it, where they learned it from. This is the sad thing about channelers, psychics, mediums, all these people like this, like her, that come out and say all this crap. And then when asked about it, can't answer. Where did you get it from? Who did you look? Is it written down somewhere? Is it a book? Who taught you this stuff? Who taught you this? Who told you this stuff? Can't answer it. Can't answer it, can you? Because it's not true. Because it's BS. Because you're being lied to. Because you're being deceived. And when they're being deceived, they turn around and use it on you and deceive you as well. Become a fan. It's your choice. Be one with Ghost Adventures. Be one with whoever it is on TV. But when they go around having dark, gore paintings of torture and things like that, and they're in dark rooms, and when they say things like, oh, the music, I take music, but there's something that takes over my body and does the music, and there's something that takes over my body and does this and does that, and my whole house is filled with dark images, and my whole life is filled with dark this and dark that, and everything is just evil, but it's okay. Really? Please. You got some serious problems. Thanks, everybody, for checking this out, or checking me out. I appreciate you listening, watching, not listening, watching. I'm used to radio. So check out the links on the bottom. Share, like, subscribe, do all this stuff. I do appreciate you being a part of it. And thanks, everybody, for adding me, subscribing, because that is the coolest thing. I appreciate every single one of you. Anything you want to ask me, email me. Comment me. If I don't get back to you immediately, I will be there because sometimes I just totally miss it. I don't check all the comments. There are a lot of good people out there that repost my videos, and for some reason, when they comment on those videos that they have on their YouTube, I don't see the comments. They have to come to me and tell me. For some reason, once they post it on their website or wherever, I don't see this stuff. I don't even get the views. I don't know how YouTube does that, but it doesn't bother me at all. I'm just saying that I don't see it, so you can find me. And by the way, the website's going to be changed pretty soon, so if it looks a little odd, that old and untouched for a while, that's probably why. But you can find me on Facebook, like the links on the bottom. Until next time, thanks again, everybody. I do appreciate it. See ya.